Finally, 7.1 R2 and example 1314. So for 7.1 R2, again, you're given a triangle. They are specific with the angle in the corner here. They label the two sides, 7 and 24, and across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. So across from the labeled angle, 7 would be opposite, and 24 is adjacent. First thing you have to do is find the hypotenuse. So Pythagorean theorem says hypotenuse is a squared plus b squared square root. So you get that number first. Once you have that and all the sides are labeled like they are here according to this bottom theta, if the theta was up here, the opposite and adjacent would be switched. And you can look at the, I don't know, a few videos back, I had that. So once you find C, again, you go through the 6 identities and put the numbers in. Sine of theta, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of theta, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent of theta, opposite over adjacent. Cosecant theta, hypotenuse over opposite. Secant theta, hypotenuse over adjacent. And cotangent theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And simplify any fractions as needed. So if any of these fractions come out that they can be simplified, you have to simplify them. Okay, so that one you can do. This one here, this one is a little different. It sort of encompasses all the topics that we've gone through. The important thing to note is how they're labeling everything. The capital letters are the angles, the small letters are the sides. The angles and the sides are opposite of each other. So angle B is down on the lower right and side B is directly across from it. The hypotenuse is directly across the right angle, which is C, and angle A up at the top, directly across, is side A. So again, this is the standard setup. You could label this anywhere you want. Usually C is the hypotenuse, but whatever you're labeling it, the sides are opposite the angles you're labeling it. So one thing we have to remember is all angles add up to 180 degrees. So given what they give us, they say B is 26 degrees, so that's in the bottom right. And the side is 17 for the hypotenuse, so C is 17. So now I have to find angle A, I have to find side B, and I have to find side A, or leg A, leg B. First thing I can get is angle A. All the angles add up to 180, so I'll take 180 minus 90 minus the 26. I get angle A is 64. Next thing I want to know is that the sine of 26, so instead of saying, like I did up here, sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, I said theta because I didn't know what theta was. I just had a symbol there. But now I know what theta is. Theta is 26. So I can say sine of 26 is opposite over hypotenuse. Well, opposite side is a B. I don't know that, but I do know hypotenuse is 17. So I'm pretty much looking for B. So I first take the sine of 26. So on this calculator, I press sine first, and I put 26 in there. If you have a regular calculator, you might put the 26 in first, and then press sine. Make sure the mode is in degree mode. So for instance, when I click on mode here, notice degree is highlighted. I can switch back and forth to radians or degrees. Doesn't seem to be switching here, but make sure, oh, I think it's switching, but it's not showing it because I'm not accepting it. So you want to make sure you're on degrees. Regular calculators, you will have a button at the top. It might just say degrees on it. If you press that a couple times, it'll go from degrees, radians to gradians. So again, you want to make sure that says degrees right at the top of your screen, right at the top of the numbers. So when I press sine of 26, I get 4.38. So I replace the sine of 26 with 4.38 equals b over 17. Multiply both sides by 17 because I'm trying to solve for b. I get 17 times 0.438 is b. So b, when I multiply these out, 17 times 0.438, I get 7.446. They want 1 decimal point, so I do 7.5. I go 1 place over, and it's a 5. So that gives me side B. Now I can use Pythagorean theorem to find side A because I know 2 of the sides now. The hypotenuse is 17, and now my B is 7.5. So I can say A is going to be C squared minus B squared, or 17 squared minus 7.5 squared. So 17 squared is 289, minus 7.5 squared is 56.25. So I take, this is a subtraction problem, so I take 289 minus 56.25. I get 232.75. So now I take the square root of that. 232.75. And that gives me 15.256. I'm rounding to one place. The next number over is 5 or more, so I make this a 15.3. So A is 15.3. I could have also solved it a second way like this. So the sine was opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is the side I don't know here. So I could say cosine of 26. So cosine of 26 is 0.899 times A over 17. Multiply both sides by 17. So 17 times 0.899. And again, I get my 15.3. So either way works, but the important thing is one of the sides you have to do this way with the sine or the cosine. And then you can use Pythagorean theorem on the opposite side.